What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, here we are. We're up about 9% today. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all, you guys. Still finding, excuse me, still finding resistance at prior areas of support and prior areas of resistance. We haven't done anything condemning to the bears yet, convincing to the bulls yet. If you are getting excited, you're getting hyped over this, I mean, you have reasons to. We're up 9%. It's nice. It's nice to be up at all, especially when we're in the face of death. But we have not validated any kind of low yet. What it'll take to validate this as a low, as we all are aware, is a price that is at about 1.9 cents. We need to get above there on a daily closing basis. We can't just wick up there. We have to get above there. Why do we have to get above there? Because that'll take us above this daily high close here. That'll take us above these daily low prices here. And most importantly, from the overall high to low, that'll take us right above our 382 here. If we can close above that, there's very little doubt in my mind that, and beyond all the price action things, we've also broken out of this downtrend with that. There'd be very little doubt in my mind that this was the low and that we are going higher, right? We definitely would be going higher. At least that'd be my assumption. But we haven't validated that yet. As of now, we could very well go down, and that's kind of what I'm expecting. This is a nice. If you were trading in the short term, this might be a nice selling opportunity, but not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I don't think it's worth selling at all down here, man. I don't think it's worth playing the game down here at all. I've been very much trying to not encourage anybody to play the game. If you're playing the game, you're getting in, you're getting out, you're getting in again. As long as you're focused on getting in and staying in, but you're playing the game here, there, okay, that's fine. But if you're playing the game and you're making money, that's great. But not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I think if you are buying and selling here, you should really try and focus on doing it with a very small amount of money so that the large stack will be ready for when the rip happens. Because even though I am expecting we go just below this low, just below it, not too much below it, right? Just below it. What we're going to do afterwards is dramatically, like, it's phenomenal. Right, we did the math yesterday. This thing is going to 20 cents or higher, you guys. It's inevitable. It's Thanos. 26. It could go above 40 cents. It really could. I've felt like a fool saying 40 cents is a possibility, right? Because it is an accepted data point on the fibs. But after last night, I feel like a fool for not acknowledging it more. We really could not just go above 30 cents, but above 40 cents, you guys. And here we are at 1.3 cents. Why would you play the game when I could be wrong, as crazy as that is? At any moment, we could make this move. We don't have to go lower. Why would you play the game here? We could play the game at various other places. I don't think it's going to be a straight moonshot all the way up. You never know. It could be. But that's why you risk a very small amount with these buys and sells, right? The large amount, 95% or more of your XCN stack, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, that should be in it to win it, not in it to play around, okay? If you can make money with that 5% or less and turn it into 10% of your XCN stack, or 20% or 30%, you're adding to it like that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Why risk anymore? Because you're gonna make a lot of money with this thing if you just sit on your hands. So why anytime you buy or sell, why add that risk? When you buy or sell, you're always adding risk, and especially if you're doing it over the days, right? But if you're doing it well, and you know what you're doing, don't let me stop you. Here we are on the 4-hour time frame, looking at the RSI. You are finding resistance at the 60 area. I will say this is a bit different than how you normally act with this area. And sometimes different behavior begets different results. Let's be fair, right? Oftentimes when you find resistance here, you go down to the oversold zone. You found resistance here just below. You went down to the oversold zone. Here, you went down at least below the 40, right? A little bit here around the 30, but still went back up here and then down to the oversold zone. Here, oversold zone. Here, oversold zone. Right? Even here, when you got up higher, you went oversold. But this time, you bounced off the 40. That's a good bounce, guys. That's a good bounce. But in all fairness, too, even though this isn't something we've done so much in this range, bouncing between the 40 to the 60, ping-ponging in this area, that's somewhat common sometimes when you're figuring yourself out. And we might just be figuring things out right now. We have been moving sideways in all fairness. A lower high is still a lower high. That's not a big wick to the upside, but it's somewhat sizable. It's enough to make me consider that we are finding resistance here at prior areas of support. You put a line right where we closed. We are literally finding resistance at prior areas of support and resistance. It's clear as day. So again, for anybody out there that might be thinking that this is bullish, this invalidates anything, you're wrong. You're wrong, right? You might be right. You might be proven right, and that's fine if you are, inevitably. But it's not validated yet. You have to wait. You don't have to. Who am I to say what you do or don't have to do? But I think that waiting. I'm going to wait before I start celebrating the upside. Before I start celebrating this as a low, I'm going to wait until we close a day above 1.9 cents. Once we do that, okay, I'll be on board. But until then, I'm just going to remain a slight bear, just a little bit, okay? If we look at the 1 hour time frame, the 1 hour time frame does have a little bit more of a wick. It's kind of a lot of volume there on a wicking basis. Let's see, what did we do on a 15-minute time frame? A lot of that was buying, to be fair, but I mean, well, whatever. Buying, every buy is a sell, every sell is a buy. If we're looking at the RSI on the 1 hour time frame, you are in an area that you found resistance at before. Resistance back here, you got a little bit above it before, but still in this area nonetheless. Somewhat of a common area to tip and find resistance, it seems, throughout this whole range, going back to whenever this downtrend started, right, which was all the way back here in late January. So it's very possible that if we do move up, it's just a little bit more. And even if we were to move up higher from here, it's very possible, like if we were on a trajectory that would take us higher and validate this as a low, it's very possible that we would likely find resistance at some point, pull back, find a higher low, and then continue to grow, something like that, right? So if you want to add to the bullish momentum, find a higher low. That's what I would ask for, right? Find a higher low. Don't form another lower high, lower low scenario. But if you want to validate this as a bullish scenario, I would say bounce off of 1.3 cents. If you go down, you're at 1.37 cents now. If you can bounce off of 1.3 cents and then come back up to these areas or exceed them, that's going to look good, guys. I'm still not convinced until we get above 1.9 cents, but that would look good. Even if you were... I would say even if you go to the golden ratio and you come back to these areas, that would look good as well. So you could bounce at 1.2 cents to 1.1 cents. I still think we're going to go lower. I still think that 0.0095 to 0.00844, somewhere in this area is where we're going to go. Time will tell. But of course, and if you did miss that video, that most recent video that I made, I don't know where it is. Let me see here. Hold on. Feel so calm. Let's see. Maybe if I just do this real quick. This is kind of a shortcut. We're gonna figure it out. Just gotta wait a second. Yes, my internet's slow, you guys. I've got 5G T-Mobile. It's terrible. It's actually very terrible. It's more like living in the Stone Ages at this point. XCN. OnyxCoin is more bullish than ever. That video. That one, if you haven't seen it, I think it's interesting, the perspective there. We compare OnyxCoin to Bitcoin, and we concoct some very obvious price areas to expect whenever it comes to that. I think that it's a good one. It was fun, at least for me, to see these numbers come into play that we've been talking about, and even numbers that were higher, right? Oftentimes, whenever I do these Bitcoin analyses, I compare whatever crypto to Bitcoin. I am setting myself up for failure because sometimes we find prices that are lower than my expectations. Rarely is it that we go above my expectations there, and so a good bit of the time we go actually right where I'm expecting it to go, which is nice. But these prices are they're in the areas that we've been expecting them to go, but they're on the higher ends of those areas, which I was not expecting. So, and just pleasantly surprised that they weren't bearish, to say the least. But let's get back to work here. Okay, if we're looking at the 15-minute time frame, you do have a double top on the 15-minute. I would call that bearish divergence. That doesn't imply anything crazy, right? You would just move down to here at about 1.35 cents, and the bearish divergence is complete. You might even move down here, form some kind of a higher low, and then continue to run, right? So that could definitely happen. Make no mistake. I want to reiterate something that I said before I got distracted here trying to find that other video. If you do, from a high to a low, if you do pull back to this 382, and it's in this like 4-hour period, and then you come back up here and you're right there, that might look bullish, but I wouldn't get too excited about it yet, right? I'm talking about a move that like you'd bounce down here, you'd close at this, or might close lower, and then you come back up, something like that. That might take more time. If it's just a quick volatile wick down and wick up, I wouldn't count that as anything bullish to consider. It might be, but we would need more continuation, more confirmation before that actually is true. Okay, so don't get excited if we see some kind of flash wick down and we just pull right back up to this area. That it could count, but it probably doesn't count. Okay, we're looking for something that's more substantial, but I hope that makes sense. Looking at the 4-hour RSI, getting back to that there. Finding resistance in this area, my expectation would be that, yeah, we probably come down. Maybe we bounce off the 40, we continue to ping pong in this area, but I would think that, with each passing attempt that you have here, each passing attempt, it's more likely that you break this side, and if we find support, it would be more likely that you break this side until something gives, one way or another. We'll just ping pong in this area. So as of right now, if we do close this 4-hour period red, which just started, we have 3 hours and 47 minutes left. By the time most of you watch this, it probably won't have completed itself yet. But if we do close this red, the ball will be in the bear's court. If this 4-hour candle gets green at all, that does not mean that it's in the bull's court yet. We could even go above the last 4-hour candle's high and still, by the end of this candle, come all the way back down and close. So we need confirmation. We need this thing to close, and above all else, we need to get above 1.9 cents before it's time to start singing the bullish parade. I don't know, bulls on parade, yeah, from Rage Against the Machine. I almost said Rise Against there. Let's see here. Looking at this from a low to a high. Low to high 382, finding resistance at it now, going down to the 0.5. I don't think that we've done anything significant yet. Okay, there you go, closing. Oh, I thought we closed right above it. I guess we closed right at it. Yeah, we're just finding resistance in prior areas of support, prior areas of resistance. Not a whole lot of volume on a 4-hour basis. I'm not impressed. Impress me. I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong. If you've watched this channel at all, if you've learned anything about me, hopefully it's that you've learned that I'm not afraid of being wrong, and I'm definitely not afraid to admit that I'm wrong. So for anybody out there that's saying, cope, you're just coping, I'm not coping, man. Invalidate me, and I want you to invalidate me. I don't care about that, man. I don't have pride over this shit. It's okay if I'm invalidated. I would rather see that XCN is my biggest bag, but let's call a spade a spade. You haven't done anything impressive, right? Impress me. You want to invalidate me? You want me to start coping? I won't cope, but you want me to change my opinions and flip bullish? Impress me. Do something that's impressive. This is not it. So we'll see how it goes. I've got nothing else to say. I just wanted to come on here and basically tell you guys that yes, we're moving up. Yes, the drop is still coming. Yes, it's taking longer than originally anticipated, but we'll just see how it goes. And until we break out of this range, until we're above the 1.9 cent area, it's not time to get excited just yet. Okay, this is just another lower high in a series of lower highs that we've been in since the end of January. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.